Day 4 of the 2025 Australian Open about to get underway. We are so excited for this. It's our first look at the women for the tournament. Women's pairs action on Rinkside Live. It's Tracy Boxer and Maria Lehmann of South Australia up against two ladies who you might know well enough, Cassandra Millerick and Kylie Lavis. Kylie, of course, née Whitehead, but changed her name last year. Actually married on the same day as me. There's a fun fact, a useless piece of information, if you don't mind, this morning. Val Febo, my name. Joining me is the one and only Troy Corber, who's come prepared today. He's got a singlet and he's got a granny rug as well, just in case it gets a little bit chilly. Troy, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Val. Been up all night crocheting. Whipped myself up a little number for today because, boy, I spent most of yesterday shivering, so I've come prepared.
Such a cold day yesterday. Connor Munnings also alongside us this morning. Connor, welcome.
Thanks, Val. Great to be here for our first day streaming the women's pairs. We've had 3 days of men's singles, but keen to get into some pairs action today.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be brilliant. So looking forward to this. We've got Cass leading up for Kylie, and we've also got Tracy leading up for Maria. So looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. We've got Tracy with those pink bowls, with her pink cap. And Kylie and Cass using their BPL bowls, I believe. Cass has her white ones and Kylie has her cosmic splices for the Melbourne Extreme. And we've got the purpley pink combination of Tracy and Maria. So looking forward to seeing how this one pans out.
And fairly new experience for Rinkside Live for Tracy and Maria. So we will have a little chat with Maria about stepping off to the side when she comes down the other end. So I do apologise for that at this stage. But I won't get the stick out to begin with. She'll get one warning before the stick comes out. So Tracy and Maria both play out of the Kangaroo Island district in South Australia. Tracy from the Kingscote Club and Maria from Birchmore. 3 clubs there on Kangaroo Island, Pandana being the other. And fairly accomplished players, both multiple club champions and have won Champion of Champion titles. So they are no mugs, but they are going to need to start this game well because we know we're going to get class from Cass and Kylie. So a lot of their chances will be based on how quickly they can settle into this game because you do not want to surrender and go out to an 8-0 deficit or a 10-0 deficit, especially when we're only playing 15 ends, or it could be curtains. So that'll be their challenge.
I think we are playing 18 ends for pairs.
Oh, of course, 3 bowls. 3 bowls pairs for those.
Thank God it's not 2 and walk. I detest that discipline. I know we have to stream it a lot, but
My favourite discipline.
To play.
To play.
You haven't watched it and streamed it yet, Connor.
And Jacks are respotted also.
Oh.
Ryan Bester will be happy about that.
I love Jack respotted. Killed ends can be the bane of your existence, especially when you think back to the 2022 Nationals. Matt Lucas and Chris Lalive against Sean Thompson and Jack McShane. And I know we've spoken about that. That final end went for over or nearly an hour, 57 minutes that took because Matt and Chris killed 7 ends.
You know what, I'm a bit with Ryan Bester. I do like a dead end. I like it, but I get why we respot. I understand why, and I understand that's probably the way forward. But I am a fan of a dead end. I like the drama.
Yeah, that's fair. More than fair.
So Maria stepping onto the mat for the first time, and she's a fellow lefty, so she's got plenty of natural talent, no doubt.
Keep telling yourself that, Troy.
Well, based on that, she's cut the head down already.
Sure has, and I like how there's a clear difference in the colour of bowls.
Oh, it's fantastic for us, isn't it?
Yep, I did lobby to have markers help us out this year on Rinkside Live, but I think I've been overruled. Because especially in the 4s, the signals were so faint, and I think that's something that we might need to tell the players during, just to give us a little signal as well if they remember just so we can bring you the best coverage possible.
Kylie is in. Cass is happy. So Maria will be... She got a good sit last time round, so she does need to take a bit more grass and take a bit of weight off if she's just drawing. But she's not happy with that one. In fact, Maria owes us a drink. Actually, a few nerves there. Playing without stickers too, so sometimes when you get really used to playing with stickers on your bowls and then you take the stickers off, the chance of a wrong bias increases dramatically.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it does. Kylie just holding out a little there, so she won't add to the count just yet.
There is a bit of a breeze this morning.
Don't jinx us, Val. I hate to tell you, actually, the weather forecast is supposed to be very similar to yesterday.
I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Gusty northwesterly wind is expected to come in around lunchtime.
Pants on today.
And it was bitterly cold, that wind yesterday. Maria.
Great correction here.
But it's... Oh, she might have made 2 here.
There
Maria
you go.
Lehmann.
Well, that's just what they needed. To win the first end against these ladies.
Yep.
That's a huge bonus for them.
I wonder if her nickname's Boof.
Oh, it's a name synonymous with SA Sport, isn't it?
It is Darren, Jake, and now Maria. So 1 to the South Australian combination from Kangaroo Island. You ever been there, gentlemen?
No, I really want to. It's on the bucket list. Been meaning to go down. I know a few years ago, I was devastated by some bushfires.
Yep.
But I think it's bounced back and a place I really want to go. South Australia, lovely part of Australia. Love Adelaide.
Yeah, I went to Adelaide last for Gather Round in 2023.
Yep.
And it's awesome. The Adelaide Oval precinct is wonderful. I want to go there for the tennis one year as well, to go to Memorial Drive, which is right underneath the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, definitely probably my second favourite city.
Second favourite?
Second favourite city in Australia.
Behind Hobart?
Behind Hobart.
Just slighting Melbourne. Bit of a backhander towards me.
I'm not a city.
Not a
Just
big
not a city
city,
man.
not a big city man.
Yeah, I don't mind like a small city that's got everything you need, but not too metropolitan.
See, I think when you grow up used to that, you know, like you come to Gold Coast and if you need something at like 9 o'clock at night, say you need to go to Chemist Warehouse or something, and they're all shut pretty much. But in Melbourne, a lot of them are actually open.
Yep. I do like Melbourne more than Sydney, though. I'll give you that.
And that's why we're friends, Connor. That's why we're friends. What's your favourite city in Australia, Troy?
Oh, mate, I'm living in it.
Ah, there you go.
What isn't there to not like about the Gold Coast?
The only thing is, coming from Melbourne, that things shut early here.
Yeah, but that's part of its charm, mate. It's a little bit more chilled and laid back.
Yeah,
Suits me down to the ground.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a like, you know, if I need something at 9 o'clock at night, I can run down to the IGA, or I can run down to...
What do you need to run down to the IGA for at 9 o'clock?
I live right next to one, so
okay.
if I feel snackish or if I need some like medicine or something like that, can get to Chemist Warehouse.
Fair enough.
I just like to have the option.
Tell you what, the food options up in the Gold Coast, though.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Troy had his first O-Bagel yesterday.
Oh my, it's good. So still a bit of room here for Tracy to draw into. She's Cass's front bowl is around 3 feet short. So the greens will be running a little slower first thing this morning. Running probably around the 14 mark, maybe slightly under the 14 mark. But it won't take long for that to pick up, and we'll start getting a bit more bend out of the bowls as well. That'll be part of the challenge for these players to adjust to that as that happens throughout the game.
So we're playing in the east-west direction this morning, and then we will change after session 1 to north-south. So just to keep the greens wear and tear even throughout the competition, which I like, and the greenkeepers obviously have to keep on top of that when this green is getting so much wear on it over a 2-week period, plus the Matador 4s, plus the Blue Diamond pairs, and everything that was happening at Broadbeach before the AO. You know, they have to make sure that everything is running in tip-top shape, and they certainly are.
I do love the 3-bowl pairs format. I actually like all the 6-bowl formats, the 2-bowl triples and 3-bowl pairs. Really like it. I'm a bit of a bowls nuffy, so the tactical side of these formats I really love.
Well, 3-bowl pairs is what you're going to get at the Bowls Premier League as well, and it's enthralling to watch.
So Maria gets round the back. So Tracy holding one with the 9 o'clock bowl at the moment. That you would consider too much room to allow Kylie with 3 bowls.
So the matches will last a little bit longer than what we have had previously throughout the competition on Rinkside Live, because obviously with singles things can end very early, but we will play in sectionals the full allotment of the 18 ends if it's within the 2 hours and 15-minute time limit, because at the end of the day, even if the result is mathematically impossible to resurrect, shots up matter at the end of the day. There are 7 next best qualifiers in this draw, so you still have to be nigh on perfect, and 2 wins and I think plus a fair bit will get you in, but you still need to fight tooth and nail for every single end.
So Kylie looks on a much better line here. She's corrected her line really well.
Oh yeah. Bumps Cass in, and
she's done enough, I would say.
Will do.
Maybe not. Not getting much of an indication from the girls.
I'd favour the Jack High.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's the trick with Connor. You're right. Ringside Live favouring Jack High.
Tracy made a point of telling me her bowls are fuchsia, so not pink, fuchsia.
And I must give a shout out to the great Swanee Wallage from Moama. And when I say great, he's an absolute ripper. He's just messaged and said, great streaming, guys. Great to have your company, Swanee, and we hope you're going well. You're an absolute superstar when we go down there. He's one of the nicest guys in bowls.
Maria's got a lovely result off the wide bowl there, didn't she?
Yeah.
She's, look, I'll tell you what, she's at least been up and given her bowl a chance. Now, Kylie might be cutting the head here. I think this might still be 2. It is. 2 for the Boxer Lehmann team.
So this is a very good start for this South Australian team. I think they wouldn't mind us saying that they wouldn't have been the favourites coming into this, considering when you're taking on 2 right at home Jackaroos. But they have started very well. If you don't mind, the Kangaroo Island ladies have hopped out to a nice start.
I knew that was coming. I still wasn't prepared for it.
You should have been prepared.
We're keeping an animal theme going. Of course, we had the dog streaking yesterday and discussions on magpies and plovers. And it was all happening yesterday. It was like a David Attenborough special.
Was.
We've got the Kangaroo Island girls going at it today.
Yesterday's afternoon stream was something special. We went off in all sorts of directions about animals.
Had some great feedback through the comments section as well. People sharing their stories. Did make us laugh.
There were some that were hilarious.
It's great when you guys get involved and share your thoughts on the game, how it's developing, what's happening in your part of the world. So I'm not sure what your thoughts are, Connor, but for me, leading up in 3-bowl pairs, it's 2 on and 1 behind. That's the ideal end.
Yes. I was just going to actually talk about that, Troy. A lot of people say 3-bowl pairs. It's a skips games. But the lead is so important, because if you can get a couple on it, it makes it so hard for the skip to get shot there. So important job here.
And just like in singles, leading up, short bowls are absolute killers. You do
Yep.
not want to be finishing short.
Yeah, you
Finish long if you miss.
Yeah, you want to give your skip something to play to.
I mentioned the great South African international the other day, Eric Johannes, and saw him play a pairs tournament, and he told his partner, it was 3-bowl pairs, he said, I'm on with my driving today. He said, your first bowl is to be bowled onto the 6-foot mark, regardless of where the jack is. And the opposition were stunned and trying to work out what the heck was going on. They soon found out after a few ends, because Eric the Eel was on fire.
Realised what was going on.
And someone else that's on fire is Cass. So she has, by her standards, had a couple of scratchy ends, but she is now in rhythm. She's bowled 2 good ones there.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a word with them about keeping the jack out of the shadow, though. That's not good.
The sun will change, and our direction will change as well.
I mean, Cass has been coming to forehand these past 2 bowls, but there is a chance for her to come to backhand, finish that foot or 2 behind, and finish in a really good spot, because that's the way the jack's going to pop if they do make contact. But she's going to stick to the forehand. I guess she's had 2 right on it.
Unfortunately, it's a bit of an ugly head for Maria to cross over on. She does at least have a back bowl, but it'll look worse and worse as she goes down to the other end. Cass will not want to fatten this target. Well, she has it a little bit, but it's still very difficult for Maria. Well, we know what Alex Hyde from our stream yesterday would have done at this stage.
Bang.
Yep.
Played some great drives yesterday, didn't he?
Get the F1 car out and go for an acceleration. We've got a lot of people watching in the comments. We'll get to a couple of these. Zoom watching from Montreal, Canada, where if the greens hit 12 seconds, everyone loses their mind saying it's too fast. But love the 3-bowl pairs. It's my favourite format. Concur. And I must say, happy birthday, Troy Corber.
Thank you, Val.
Great. How old are you turning?
21 today, my friend.
I like it.
No, the big 4-6 today.
4-6.
Only 14 years off being able to play over 60s, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I might have a chance of winning more games, potentially.
The old Cosmo Kramer, I may be old, but I'm spry. And the birthday sentiments coming from Colin Pollock as well, who we streamed the other day. Evie Exton as well. Great to have your company, Evie. Up-and-coming star of this sport. Nice hat, Tracy.
She's a fan of the pink. Ooh, yep, okay. So they still maintain their back bowl, but the problem for Maria, she's got to be really confident hitting this because Kylie is going to add, and she may cop a full count if she continues to drive.
So let us know where you're watching from in the comments. Get to you. We'll see where the furthest away from the Gold Coast is. I think Montreal might have us covered.
I was going to say, unless we've got someone from Alaska or Siberia, it's going to be pretty hard to beat Canada.
If we get someone watching in Siberia, I will eat my hat.
And you just can't say that you're watching from Siberia. We want a selfie or something of that.
Yep. Send it to C. Munnings. Send all the emails to Connor. Make him work.
Kylie won't be overly happy with that, but it's enough to count. Probably a nice guide for Maria, to be fair. Just under that bowl. Even if she can get third shot at this stage would be a good result.
Gary Brown saying, Eric taught me how to play a few years ago when he was living in Kalgoorlie. Great bloke. Gave me a lot of his time and knowledge. So
Look at this. Sorry, Val, but this is a magnificent bowl. Now, having a close look at this, she drawn the shot. She has.
That is
what a magnificent bowl.
Ridiculously good from Maria Lehmann.
And now those back bowls that back bowl they have is important, because Kylie won't be short of this with so many other bowls in their head.
Well, I'd say for Kylie, just to hit that bowl that Cash just pointed to on the right there, hit that, knock them all up, and keep theirs around for shot. But she'll have to hit it well, just so she doesn't spill that jack back. She's going big weight. And she has given this a mighty chance. If it turns, it's not going to. The South Australians.
We need to get the TAB running for the Oz Open, because you would have had good odds for them winning the first 3 ends.
Try not to promote betting on Rinkside Live.
Responsibly, of course.
Yes, of course. It's like drink wise. Drink responsibly. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise, of course.
Yeah, they hold.
That is shot of the morning from Maria Lehmann.
She's been playing 13 years. As I mentioned, multitude of club championship titles. She nearly forgot her husband, who's cheering her on here, and said, "Oh, I better mention I won mixed pairs with him as well, or he'll get upset."
Oh, don't forget him. On the comments, we've got Marcel Burgess watching from Grahamstown in South Africa. Oh. Great to have your company, Marcel. Barbara Green watching from a very cool Como. Evie Exton saying, Kangaroo Island girls, go all right. Oh, I think we can see that. Gareth Bunting watching from Ireland. Anne watching from Glasgow. Joe Whitehead wishing Troy a happy birthday. Watching from Cairns, 28 degrees. Great to have your company, Joe. Got to meet her for the first time in person at BPL 20 last year. Great to have everyone's company. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments.
Well, that's a really important bowl for Tracy, because she's been a bit erratic, and that's going to settle her nerves a little. A lot more inexperienced than Maria. She's only been playing 4 years, so she'd be a little bit nervous playing these girls and being on Rinkside Live. So that's a real steadier for her nerves.
Good start from Cass too.
Yeah, both the leads here. And the send on song. I think it's going to be a good battle, gents.
Shaping that way.
And we do see this, that, you know, when players are taking on a pair of right at home Jackaroos, they can start very well. And the Jackaroos, this is where they train. They train the mental fortitude to come back and solve these problems. So let's see what Kylie and Cass have in their arsenal today. These two made the fours final together last year with Olivia Simmons. And there's one more in that team. And I've completely forgotten. I'm going to have to go and have a look at that. I commentated it as well. That's not very good.
Always say, Val, you have the best memory I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've left myself down today. I'll have it for you in 30 seconds.
Tracy on a good line again here.
He's just going to duck under, but give something for Maria to play to.
Kira Burke, Emma Simmons, Cass Millerick, Kylie Whitehead. Lost to Louise Cronin, Leanne Shinnery, Emma Boyd, Kelly McCarran. Emma Simmons from Moama, and Kira, of course, from Club Tweed, not too far away from here.
Great set of bowls there from Cass. Good grouping. She'll be happy with that. Nice rhythm now. I feel like over the men's singles we had 3 days of that. Each day the crowd seemed to build each day. It actually got quite rowdy yesterday afternoon on the terrace here and around the grounds.
Give it time. It's still only 9:25 in the morning.
Doesn't matter when you're a Queenslander, mate.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Of course, men's pairs action today happening around clubs on the Gold Coast as well. Wow, she's done it again.
Yeah.
She's just playing nice weight to the head, isn't she? She's
Yeah.
getting some results. Drew one cold on the last end to save them when they were well down.
I think nearly every one of her bowls this game so far has been absolutely bomb, apart from one wrong bias.
Yes. Kylie looking to answer here. Just pulling up a little short.
As I said, Kylie was married in October last year and had her nana walk her down the aisle, which was wonderful to see. Her and her nana so close, and she's sitting right alongside us here, watching her granddaughter play.
She's dressed for the weather too. She knows it's going to be cold today.
I should have worn my puffer this morning.
And does Kylie have a bit of a look at those two bowls? I think that's what Cass is intimating. She'd like to see her have a run at those two. Definitely have the next two, potentially the next three after it. She is searching. She well and truly gets the respot.
Yep. We see some really big weight from Kylie Lavis.
Not much point in Maria trying to cover that, so she'll just be trying to draw another.
Is she going to find the gap or go around the back? She's going around the back. It's not quite going to cover the respot though, so Kylie Lavis, this is a really telling bowl early in this match. Controlled weight, and she's not happy at all.
I think she's well and truly under the head.
That is why. So the South Australians,
Keep ticking along.
they do. What is the signal there? Was it 1 or 2? A scoreboard attendant will let us know. That is just the 1. So 5-0 after 4 ends. Tracy Boxer and Maria Lehmann.
Now, if they can somehow string another couple of ends together here, we're going to be 7 ends in with a significant lead to the South Australian pair. So these next couple of ends are really important for both teams. Tracy has the mat about 6 foot up from the tee.
There's been no rhyme or reason for the mat jack length yet. There was a long end before, there was a short end before. It's kind of been all over the place, but it could be a tactic, Troy.
It could be.
Just not letting Kylie and Cassandra settle in.
Kind of like that song, How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria?
Oh, there's no problem with Maria at the moment, is
No,
it?
she's solving everything.
So she works for the council there, does some cleaning for them, and at the moment she's cleaning up.
Troy, it's your birthday, and you are giving us the presents.
Well, you started it, Val.
So Cass and Kylie have their work cut out for them this morning. These two Kangaroo Island superstars taking it to them. 4 ends played, 14 to go. Moving pretty quickly as well, I must say. Players not really taking their time on the mat, going quickly. We've already had plenty of time to record a radio show this morning. We've had a very productive morning today. You can listen to it without bias at 10 o'clock tonight on 1116 SEN via the app, or if you're in Melbourne, via 1116 on your analogue dial or on the DAB. My car's too old to have a digital radio at the moment. I'm probably due for an upgrade.
I'd say so.
That's from the 80s, is it?
No, it's a 2013 Mazda 3. I do love it. I have a very strong attachment to my car.
They made good cars in that era, the Mazda, didn't they? The 3s and the 6s.
It still runs so well.
As
I
is
do
this
love him.
bowl.
Yes.
Great bowl from Tracy Boxer, correcting from her first two, which was about a metre short. She just added that extra weight and got the result.
I love Cass's release. You can cut to it in the 45, but she gets down so low and she holds that position, and that does not waver at all. Depending on what she does, she just continues to do it time and time again, and she is leading superbly. Has it got the legs? I'm not sure. Wry smile from Kylie says maybe not. Not sure.
He's close.
Kylie last week was named as a Share a Yarn ambassador with the AIS, meaning that she'll be a mentee with an athlete of First Nations descent, and they'll help Kylie get in touch with her culture. She's from Walpiri country. Get in touch with her culture and history a little bit more, which is fantastic to see.
Well, we've seen a couple of representatives of the Darrasimenko Club over the last few days, and they've got a great program running with a Indigenous bowling group that come and visit at the club. I think it's once a month. They get in amongst and have some visiting teams from other clubs come in and play against them as well. It's a terrific initiative. So again, Maria not being shy of the head and giving her bowl a chance. I'm concerned if this has got the run or not. It's trying. What do I know? Look at that. That's come home beautifully from out there. It's gone too far, in fact. Tracy saying she still favours them for shot with the fuchsia bowl.
So can these right-at-home Jackaroos get themselves on the board for the first time? Or can they be held off by the boxing Kangaroos? Very fittingly named boxer.
Based on Tracy's call, they're still holding. Maria beats her own here. She'll go close to counting. See Maria here getting onto the mat. Lefty.
Yesterday we had the touch count. Today we could do a Troy Corber lefty mention count.
Yeah. Well,
We're up to 25.
I'm going to leaf through the pages of the next games and have a look what we've got coming up. There's not too that many of us, so I get excited when I see a lefty playing.
So as of 2021, the population of Kangaroo Island is at 4,894. These two come all the way from there and are performing at an extremely high level. Kylie Lavis looking to get this one to come through. It's trying its utmost to do so. What has she achieved? She might have just done it. I'm not sure.
Cass was intimating there that she wanted it to fall over, so
They're going to measure. So is it one more to the South Australians, or has Kylie Lavis got them on the board? I dare say we are going to be going T to T after this. Wait, with bated breath, have the first 5 ends gone the way of the South Australians?
well, I think it looks like it is theirs. Yep.
Oh, wow. 6-0 after 5. And now they're at the point where mentally they have that break where a full count doesn't put them behind. So Kylie and Cass are now more than one end from taking the lead, which I think gives Tracy and Maria some sort of buoyancy in terms of their foothold in this contest.
Well, they would never have dreamed of being able to get a start like this, and it's happened for them.
But the positive for Cass and Kylie is they've only dropped one multiple. That was a 2. So, you know, they score a 3 or a 4 because they've been peppering the heads. They've been second shot on 4 of the 5 occasions. So they're not playing badly by any sense of the word, by any means. It's just Tracy and Maria have been phenomenal so far. Tracy will be desperate to get this one close to start things. Cass has led superbly.
Yeah, so here's a chance for Cass to jump on this one. Tracy has about 5-6 feet here to correct. I think you're right, Val. I think if Cass and Kylie can get that mat, they're going to go tee to tee.
Or at least lengthen it up a lot.
We've seen Maria have no issue with reaching, so I don't think that will be a great disadvantage to her, but the question mark might be around whether Tracy can adapt to that length.
And because if your lead hops on early and gives you the shots to play, it can be almightily difficult for the skip to try and convert or save or count. Cass is under here. It's doing its utmost to hold. Well, that's
knocked it up for the shot.
Yeah.
So those bowls are about a foot short of the jack. We may see a change of hand from Cass with the next.
We had 3 grandstand finishes on Rinkside Live yesterday. Do we have an almighty upset on the cards in the offing? Don't know.
Tracy must be behind the head with this bowl. Holding 2 good ones. She needs to be behind. She's not going to, unfortunately.
So now Cass, if she can get any trail on that jack, could make things difficult for Maria Lehmann.
You talked about in singles yesterday that these elite players, these jackaroos, have goals in mind, small goals. That equates to the total, so maybe first to get to 5, getting to 10, getting to 15, getting to 20. I think it's similar in pairs as well, and especially in this 18 ends, you're probably thinking 6 ends. First 6 ends, second 6 ends, third 6 ends. So we've had, after this end, we'll have the first 6 ends down, and it's probably a good time to reset for Kylie and Cassandra.
Yep. Well, you're right. This at the conclusion of this, we're a third of the way through, Connor. Been playing for nearly 40 minutes. But it's, and I think the singles one, you can also flip the score as well to pretend you're like, you're 10-15 up, or 15-10 up, you pretend you're 10-15 down. This is the scenario that Cass and Kylie train for all the time. Yeah. They train for this sort of stuff. They're privy to a lot of the best minds in bowls that this country has produced. So
Maria will be looking to cover and count here. And for once, she's actually her weight's actually pretty good.
I think she's counted.
She's counted. Hasn't covered, but she's counted.
So that last bowl of Cass, importantly, you can see it right at the bottom of screen there. Right at the bottom, that little crescent, white crescent. That's controlling the respot mark. What has Kylie Lavis got here? This is close.
She's close.
Yeah. Bang. On the money.
There we go.
Huge from Kylie Lavis. and desperately needed as well. So, how do you solve a problem like Maria? We'll find out now.
She's got a bit of traffic on her backhand side, but it looks like she's going to stay there, work through it, hope for a good result.
Because she can promote her own bowls. She's gone, I think, it's fair weight. Or is she going to the back?
Well, it does give her options now for her last bowl.
Oh, she might have the respot. It's very close. Kylie just needs to do what she did with her last.
She'll be hoping for a bit of jack here to make 3.
She's not far away, Kylie. Not far away. Can she get it in for 2? Oh, you bet she can.
Kylie now making her first marks on this game, doing it in style.
If they can get a multiple, be highly advantageous. So staying on this backhand. This needs to be a little tighter than her last, and she might be able to promote one of her own in here. Maria Lehmann.
She's definitely tighter.
She's not far away from something crashing through. Oh.
She had nice weight to that head.
So now an opportunity for Kylie. If she can get any touch on that Jack, Connor and Troy, might be hard to get to.
Yeah, and just like that, if she is to draw a third shot here,
We'll make a 4. It's game on again.
half the deficit, just like that.
Just needs a carbon copy of her first 2. Kylie Lavis
Yeah,
probably
she's
not going to get there. But they're on the board more importantly. And 2 for the right at home Jackaroos. So as we round the bend for the first third of this contest, South Australians lead at 6 shots to 2. They lead by 4.
I think they're going to go short.
There you go.
Maybe ultra short. And we do see this happen a lot.
It was probably going to be one or the other, wasn't it?
Yep. And if the short doesn't work, I think we'll see T to T.
Cassie pretty much nailing it exactly where Kylie wanted it. We spoke about that the other day, watching the singles, the importance of a jack roll. Getting it exactly where you want it.
I know Barry Lester, I've sat with him a lot in commentary before. Some of the things that he was saying, that a lot of coaches don't actually put a bowl in their pupil's hand before they nail their jack rolls. So they'll just give their pupils a bucket of jacks and say, just keep rolling these. Once you've got the jack roll down pat, then you can start using a proper wood.
Yeah, Jack Rowan is really important, especially in fours discipline as well. I want to lead Darren Beattie. He's actually up here on the Gold Coast at the moment, so hopefully he's not watching. Worst jack roll I've ever seen.
Good morning to you, Darren.
Yep.
Could bowl. His bowling's amazing, but I just said to start over. He tried to practice, but when we were playing, you didn't know where Jack was going to go. But he'd put 2 on it, which is great. But I remember one semi-final, we were in a bit of strife, and I think overall we needed a shot or 2. And we were coming home like a steam train, and I wanted to go short, like minimum length. And while he's got the distance right, he's bowled it out of bounds by about 2 metres as well. They went ditch to ditch. We dropped the 4 or something and lost at semi-final.
Darren, if you're watching, Connor is not over it.
Connor owes you a Shirley Temple for that, mate.
I think Darren
I think he did already.
No, I mean Connor does for dropping him in it like that on ringside.
Yep.
I had a chat to him yesterday.
And now he'll never chat to you again.
He was Tasmanian, moved up to Queensland at the start of this summer. Place of Pine Rivers.
Juggernaut that they are. Looking forward to getting back up there for the Bowls Premier League. Of course, the National Schools Championships will take place at Club Pine Rivers over I think it's in July.
Yep, late July.
Yep, and it was a great first edition, or of the expanded National Schools Championships. Anyway, it was only Victoria and New South Wales that played it before that. Last year, Queensland, South Australia and Western Australia all joined in. It was great to see.
This is close. Oh, that's a magnificent bowl.
Millerick, she loves these greens, and she loves this one in particular. It's where she won it in 2023.
She's probably made a couple there too.
She was 9-0 down against Kelsey Cottrell in that final. People thought Kelsey was going back-to-back. Cass said nope. There's a great photo of her and her partner, Kevin Henderson, who we love on Ringside Live. He's a very funny man.
Oh, he's fantastic, Big Kev.
He's been on Ringside before, and I've had to mute my mic because I was laughing so much. But
did you have closed captioning?
No, we didn't. You can understand Kev, he's all right. But there's a photo of him planting a massive kiss on Cass's cheek and her just laughing.
She's got good reason to perhaps take claim of best bowler in the household. Kevy, a very fine exponent himself of the game.
Got through his singles sectional round the other day. Made it through to the knockouts. Not sure who he drew. Might have a quick squiz at that.
I remember skipping against him once when he was here at Broadbeach in the local Division 1, and his team absolutely thumped us. But it was hard for it not to still be an enjoyable experience because he's such a nice guy.
Just showing Troy and Connor a photo from Moama earlier this year where Kev was sitting next to Cass on the bench, and his face was covered completely by his Moama Steamers hoodie, and Cass was just laughing. He's a charming and cheeky character, is Kevin Anderson.
So Maria may have got second shot with that last bowl. She does need to be a little careful here because they do not have a bowl past the head.
No. Maybe does she put one behind so maybe she can afford to play with a bit of weight later on? It's all about the checks and balances and the chess game. Anticipating what your opponent's going to do.
Well, that'll be the other thing. If they don't get a bowl behind the head, that's exactly what Kylie will play.
And this, well, ask Troy and you shall receive.
Well, that's a good bowl.
It's the thing you learn when you watch enough bowls, that they don't all have to be right on the jack, because you've got to anticipate what your opponents might do. And you've got to read the head, understand where bowls can go. Not all touches are good either.
No, they're not.
Kylie almost covering that off. So this is a really telling bowl here for Maria Lehmann. What can she conjure up? Trying to get back.
I reckon the line's all right. It's all weight dependent from here.
Trying to get back. It's just not going to. Two fine efforts to finish off the end, but the Jackaroos take another one, and they've won back-to-back ends for the first time in this match. It's 6-3 in favour of Boxer and Lehmann. This might end up being a heavyweight battle. Got Melissa Smedley watching on from Colac, a very cold Colac, balmy 4 degrees, a little jealous of the sunshine. And hi to Granny Annie on the sidelines. And Whitehead, of course, Kylie's nana. And a touch-up from Cass Millerick, who is starting to flex her muscles.
Yeah, she's been very steady. It's probably Kylie that struggled a little bit just to find her weight early on, but she's now starting to hit the zone, and it's warning signs for the Boxer-Lehmann combination. They've got to hang tough here and try and go with them. Every time I say that expression, hanging tough, I get visions of the 80s with New Kids on the Block. That's well before your time, Val.
Yeah,
Just out there, New Kids on the Block.
We're both 96 boys, Connor and I.
Please tell me you at least know that band exists.
Yes,
You've heard
yeah,
of them.
of course.
Thank goodness for that.
Of course.
Do yourself a favour on Spotify or your
I'm an Apple Music man.
Apple Music. Yeah,
Yep.
well, have a little go at Hanging Tough by New Kids on the Block tonight.
I will.
Have a little
No, I do know of a few things before my time. There's a couple of things that maybe not, but I tend to be well versed.
Basically the S Club 7 of the 80s they were.
Yep. There's one that I threw someone off with recently. I was
Sorry,
shocked
Val,
at
but that's a ripper from Tracy. Look at that.
That is an amazing bowl and much needed too. Her first one was well short, and that's a sensational correction. But the show Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, yes.
No one, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, they were so shocked that I knew what it was. One of those corny shows from the 50s and 60s. Cass
Only
Millerick.
wanting this to hold, and it's not going to.
But great home.
It's exactly where the jack's going.
Exactly right. So Kylie playing out of Wodonga on the border of Victoria and New South Wales. Albury, Wodonga, one of the big hubs on the Murray. Very similar to Echuca, Moama.
Are they pretty competitive, the whole Albury versus Wodonga thing?
I think they would be. I think Echuca and Moama are the same. It's always, and you know, I love going up there every February. It's an amazing tournament, the BPL at Moama. You get to go through Echuca, which is a great town. Moama's awesome as well. The club at Moama is sensational. Stewie White, who's up here at the AO, does an amazing job. Same with Kevin Anderson. Swanee Wallage, of course. They look after us so well when we're there. The food that they do every night. Always a bit of meat and some roast vegetables and cooked to perfection. They do pork belly every Thursday night. And my God, it's good.
I think they did it a bit earlier this year. They did it on Wednesday, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. They do it once a year, and my God, it's nice. I went back for seconds and thirds.
So Kylie's got 2 seconds. Good bowl in position. She'll be wanting to give this bowl a chance. Now, Maria is going to play a backhand. In my opinion, a good decision. She does not want to thicken the head up on that forehand side. Ideally, drawing around the white bowl of Cass's at 9 o'clock and getting into maybe third shot and in a good position would be the best result. She can't do that there, and this might make Kylie go a little bit more direct here.
Kylie does have form on these greens. Won the 2021 Australian Fours title here in 2022. It was postponed for COVID. She did not want to do the speech that night either. She was... She's not a massive fan of doing that sort of stuff, and yeah, she had to get up and make a speech. It was very quick. That whole presentation was hilarious because the Mount Lawley boys, the Fours team that won it that night, Clive presented all of their medals. Clive Adams, he's of course a Western Australian, and he knows all of them really well. And Anthony Einfeld got on the ground and said, "Nice me," and then Clive kissed his forehead.
I've seen the photos.
Yeah, and Adam Graham did the same thing. It was hilarious. And then Clive and I were named as dignitaries.
Wow. First and only time, Val?
Yeah, first and last. So a bit of weight here from Kylie Lavis. She's close. She's not far away at all.
Needs it to hold.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's okay. She's made a couple. Or 3.
Or 4.
The only thing was she just did not want that jack to move anywhere.
Yeah, big bowl coming up now for Maria.
But it's okay.
Choosing not to play the open hand. Hasn't played a lot out there. Sticking to what she knows better.
Sorry, I meant she didn't want the jack to stay too clean with other bowls around, but no, it ended up working.
Oh, needs a result.
Oh, she cut it down.
Wow, great effort.
So 3 ends in a row to the Jackaroos. And after 8, it's 6 shots to 4. You feel as though the damn wall is starting to leak a little bit. All over them. 3 ends straight.
Full credit to Maria Lehmann, though. She's played a couple of bombs now under pressure. And all throughout this whole game, she's given a bowler a chance. Bowling in good areas.
But also the confidence to stick to what she knows. You mentioned that she could have gone for the open hand there, Troy, and she said, no, I'll just stay where I've been going. I know what the grass is doing. I know what my bowl's going to do. It worked out.
Cass urging this on. She doesn't have to work it too hard because that's right on it just about.
She's played so well. I asked Cass just to double check before who was skipping, and she looks at me and just pointed her head at Kylie and said, Kylie can play the shots. Tell you what, she's played some telling bowls to set things up for her teammate, that's for sure.
Green's absolutely humming here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Both the women's and the men's pairs on here today. So if you're out and about looking for something to do on your Tuesday, or if you're looking to get out of work, don't tell your boss. Don't tell your boss. We won't dob you in.
Sure, there's a few out there having a sneaky little look on their second screen while they're working away.
I'd have to tell Aiden Davis that you're encouraging people to get off work, Connor.
I didn't encourage. I just said, if you want to come down.
What a shot, Tracy Boxer.
Her second bowls have been phenomenal because she's been able to correct. Her first bowls, the last couple of ends have been well short. Testament to her, she's been able to correct.
Yeah, if they're going to go with these two girls, she's got to do better with that first bowl. She's got to finish deep because, as we can see here already, the Millerick Lavis combination have got great heads to play to. Yeah, see, here we go. 2.
Almost at the halfway point here. Probably get close enough to the time limit of 2 hours and 15 minutes. Next game at 11:45, Alan Faulkner and Carmen Anderson, if you don't mind, the 2023 finalists. Led for most of that contest against Natasha Van Eldik and Jen Delves, but alas, it was Tash and Jen took home the title. Talk more about that in the next match, however.
Can Tracy get under this bowl? Can she get under? Oh dear. Not ideal. Played a pretty good weight to that, but just a tad wide.
Opens it up for Maria, though.
Yeah.
All her own bowls in front, and she's got 3 to sit on there, all pretty much jack high. So she won't be short.
Be interesting to see if Kylie plays her hand and perhaps tries to count, but perhaps get in the way of that draw that she has. No, she's going to take the open hand. She has played predominantly out here.
It's always an interesting choice whether you play their hand to maybe drop a foot or two in front to block it up. But then I always get worried that you could leave something for them to come off, wick off,
yeah.
and then you just feel like, why did I do that?
Well, she certainly blocked off the other hand for Maria with where she's dropped with her first. Very hard to draw close there on that other hand. Can she keep this bowl on board? I don't think she will.
Plops into the ditch. So, opportunity now for Kylie and Cass to possibly round the bend into the second half of the match in front. Down 6-0. Fought their way back.
Grasped fairly nicely here again.
It's well pointed. Well pointed.
Ooh, wants to stay off that pink though.
Get the hole.
Ooh, good
Through
result.
Well, this is dangerous now for the South Australians.
Or does Maria have a bit of a rumble in the jungle now?
Clear it out. Open up for a last. It's potential.
Or a boom on the beach.
Concerned that she's still a little wide. She is.
Yeah. I reckon she's going to have to go big with her next if she can, if she's got it in her arsenal.
The alarm bells are ringing here for this end.
Yep. And I think she should have done it with that bowl to give herself something to play to with her final. Because now it's a big pressure bowl and she's going to have to change hands either way.
She had an opportunity to be able to take 3 of those 4 out.
Yeah.
She gets the inside of Kylie's bowl. She takes the other 2 white ones out on the wing. But
and even if she hits her own out, then she's still going to crash into something else. Kylie Lavis changes hands, and tell you what, this is well pointed too.
Can it run it out? Not quite.
So
this might make Maria's mind up because it's pretty tight to get around the very front pink one and then to get under Kylie's because that hand is holding a little with weight.
Maria Lehmann.
Her biggest bowl of this game so far.
Yep.
She's had to bowl some big uns already.
Not sure this is there either.
This could be a big number for the Jackaroos here.
3 taken out, so that's the lead. Is it 4?
Well, we do like those jack high bowls.
Just the 3, but it gives them the lead. 7-6 now to Millerick. Lavis combination.
That's where you have to make hay while the sun shines. They had a great start, but now all of a sudden the South Australians find themselves behind as we round the bend into the second half of the contest. And look, I think the shot choice there, if she watches back, I think a change of hands probably should have been on the offing, or at least some big weight there, because there was a lot to hit. The target was big, and I think the count would have been minimised. But this could start to get dangerous for the South Australians because the momentum is well and truly with the right-at-home Jackaroos.
So, Connor, if you're the Boxer-Lehmann combination, what are you putting through your brain at the moment to get yourself back into this game?
They're drawing very well, Troy. So they need.
Speaking of drawing well,
they need to continue doing that. I think they need to look at playing a few more weighted shots just to turn those heads over. Like their draw game's very good, and at the start they did have the ascendancy there. But just the last couple of ends, there's been some very tight heads, some very precise draws, and they've opted to do that rather than play a bit of weight, clear the head, change things up. So they might need to look at doing that and then getting the map back and changing the length and maybe going back to a bit longer, or their mid-length they were playing before.
That's a much better first bowl from Tracy. That's exactly what her skipper would be looking for her to do. Give that first bowl a chance.
So for the first time, they're behind. How will they change things? How will they rectify this?
Well, I think the thing is, the reality is they're only one down.
Yeah.
And if you'd have said to them before the start of the game, you're going to be one down after 9 ends.
You take that.
It's not a bad result, right? So you've just got to put those last few ends out of your mind and say, you know, we're well and truly still in this game. We've just got to knuckle down a little bit here.
And they've still won more ends. They've won 5-4. But I was saying earlier, the singles that they were getting, that wasn't giving them the lead that they were after. Tracy, boxer.
What a bowl.
Oh, yeah. Resting toucher, if you don't mind. Spray it, Maria. Beautiful. Look at that, resting right on the jack.
That's classical leading, isn't it? One on, one behind.
Cassandra Millerick. What can she do here?
Just cutting under.
Right weight.
Same again, thanks, says Maria.
Close to having the tee covered there from Tracy. But the important thing is they're one up when they cross over.
Yeah, Maria will be happy she's got a nice head to play to here. Mind you, Collie has first bowl, so it might not look so pretty after this. We'll see what happens. She's got a nice sit and stay for 2.
Just quickly, tonight, Bowls Australia Club Map webinar is on at 7 p.m. AEST time. It's on about membership and how clubs can engage with their community.
Kylie is close. She's engaging with the head. And engages with the jack to take shot back. Cass will come back from her little comfort stop and look and say, oh, wow, how good. But scan that QR code there. Make sure you're enlisted.
Or head to bowlshub.clubmap.com.au.
And worth just mentioning as well that it's not just for people who might be sitting on committees or boards at bowls clubs. If it's particular areas that you're passionate about and that you want to help out at the club, it's great to build your level of knowledge and understanding and look at ways that you can help your club improve.
Cassandra and Kylie holding one here.
And I think about to hold another.
Not quite.
Maria's bowl just flopped back on its wrong side for the Millerick Lavis combination.
Good opportunity for Maria here just to play a foot or two through, make contact with Cassandra's bowl and probably hold 3.
She's out very wide. Is she going for the respot? She's going to find the gap. Not sure.
Yeah, I think she's got the respot with
Yeah.
that. Jack has to be placed right at the back of the line, so.
Yep. So respot is with South Australians. Now Kylie's going back there as well. She's not happy and a wry smile. They are enjoying their time out here. Especially when you're from Moama and Wodonga. It's cold. So another telling bowl. They've lost the last 4 ends. Can Maria Lehmann get the South Australians back on the board and at least level things up? Find out very shortly when this bowl lies to rest.
Playing weight on this side of the green has proven to be a little difficult in this game so far. We've seen bowls sort of hold underweight out there, so she'll need to make that adjustment.
I think she has. She's definitely not popped it out too wide. It's coming. It's close. She's not far away. Oh, that is terrible luck.
She's stiff there.
She got her the right way, but it just stayed on.
Quarter of a bowl more.
The umpire's coming out just to give Cass some chocks here.
Still haven't bought mine, Val. I keep forgetting to buy them.
What are you doing, Troy?
I know. I'm too busy eating bagels at lunchtime.
You know what? I'm going to come shopping with you today.
Oh, there you go.
I'll be your shopping buddy. I probably won't buy some chocks. I don't really need them, but one taken out, so we're going to measure for the second here. A bit more weight might have been better, but I don't think they don't seem to be too confident playing with the bigger weighted shots.
To be fair, she gets a quarter of a bowl more on the front of that, and she springs it to her too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a bit stiff there.
So after 10, it's 8 shots to 6, just the one there for Cass and Kylie, who win their 5th end in a row. So they've both won 5 ends each, but that 3 on the 9th end for the run at home Jackaroos, the telling one. Still close though, as we round the bend towards home. How straight was that jack roll?
Val, I hate to tell you, that wind is just starting to come up, and it's cool again.
My hands are under my legs while I sit, just to keep them warm.
My beautiful crocheted rug's going to be going across the shoulders shortly.
Where did you get that?
In all honesty, a friend of the family does a lot of these crocheting with the wool, and she's one of the many that I've got from her. Shout out to Carol.
Carol, you're a star.
So,
I'd love to be able to do it, but I don't have the patience.
no, nor do I.
I'm not one of those flat pack individuals. One thing doesn't screw in like it should, and that's it. I lose my patience.
Are you someone that likes to read the instructions, or you just go for it?
No, I need to read the instructions.
Right.
But when what frustrates me is that the instructions are there, yet there's no writing on them. All you need is a step-by-step on how to do it. And they just put in a direction. It's like, well, hang on, is this the right screw? I'm getting angry thinking about it. But my wife is really good at it. Rach is great. She can do it really easily. And a TV cabinet arrived while she was overseas last year for work. And I didn't touch it. I just thought, I'll wait for Rach, we'll do it together. She got back the first day and put it up in 2 hours.
She's a keeper, mate.
Yep. Oh, she's a very patient person.
So good start here from both ladies. And this one's tracking pretty well from Tracy too. Can it get back to that bowl?
It's trying, it can. So Tracy, her lead game in the last 3 ends, she's gone with Cass.
Yeah, she's definitely knuckled down. She's doing a good job. It's interesting, isn't it? You know, she probably struggled a little bit early, yet they jumped out to that lead.
Maria was playing some absolute bombs. But Cass Millerick, well, if you're going to go with her, she's going to make you work very, very hard. This is the closest that the first 5 bowls have been.
Deliberate approach of Tracy Boxer on the map. And her line is pretty good again here. She'd love to just turn her bowl over a touch.
Oh, yes, she
does.
did. That's exactly what you were asking for. And now it's going to be a little bit more immovable. 6-8 in favour of Millerick and Lavis. They were down 6-0, but they've won the last 5 ends. If you've just joined us, Val Furbo, Connor Munnings and Troy Corber joining you on Rinkside Live. The Broadbeach Bowls Club, women's pairs action. First time we've seen pairs action at the Australian Open so far. We've had 3 days of men's singles. Tomorrow we go back to that discipline, but women's singles. Looking forward to bringing you that. And 2 days of fours. Hopefully we'll get people to not stand in front of the cameras.
Close.
Bang.
Great shot.
And it's funny, it has flipped because at the changeover, probably the last 3 ends, Tracy Boxer has been holding shot. But now Kylie's got the ascendancy of the skips.
Yeah, exactly. She was a bit, I'd say, wayward with her weighted shots early on. She missed a few wide and narrow, but she started being pretty spot on with them the last few ends.
I don't want to be too negative on the Ringside Live, but I really think that Maria's playing the wrong hand here. It's very difficult to get around that front white to sit that jack high bowl. Your weight has got to be absolutely spot on to get a good result.
Yep. And it was the same in this direction last time when they dropped a 3. She kept persisting with it and it didn't work.
It's a bit chilly down here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. I just went to adjust the cameras, Val. Took my headphones off and God, my ears have nearly froze off.
As Kylie, well, she's not freezing at all. She's red hot at the moment.
There's a nice pocket there for Maria to draw in on a forehand.
Bernardi's, and again, Connor's our barometer for the weather. When he says it's cold, it's cold.
You know what? All the people from New Zealand and Canada that are watching are shaking their heads saying, come on, boys.
We had someone saying yesterday that we're complaining about the cold because they're in Christchurch, it was 6 degrees, but they're probably watching from inside in a heater.
I just think we're in a little wind tunnel. We've got
we are.
Behind us, and just sitting here, like not moving, it gets us a bit chilly.
It does. And look, I think you're right, Troy. I think this hand needs to be put away for Maria Lehmann. She has to change things up here.
Well, the problem is now
it's not working.
She could have had some on that hand, and even if she'd missed with the first 1 or 2, she would have gotten a good idea of what the weight and line was for the shot out there.
At least with that one there, I'm not sure what she's exactly trying to do. She's trying to get it to curve in here in front of Kylie's bowls, but that's a difficult shot, especially with Cassis at the front there. There's not much room to find that gap. Kylie's put that in a really good spot, so let's see what Maria Lehmann does.
Maybe she should have come and had a look at the head too. That was another option for her, just to...
Tracy Box is calling her. Come on, that backhand.
Yep, you have to change hands.
Well, they've got 3rd and 4th, so even if she drifts wide and knocks her own out, it's not going to hurt them.
Wipes the bowl once more.
What can Maria do here?
Sorry, I should have said forehand because she's a left-hander.
Can she get some luck here? Gets Cass's bowl up through the head, but they're going to find themselves still 2 down.
So 2 more to Lavis and Millerick, who now extend the buffer to 10 shots to 6. They're 4 ahead. 4 and forging. 12 ends played.
6 ends in a row now for Kylie and Cassandra.
And this is what they train for. We said that they may drop a few early, but this is how they come back, and this is the trend when you watch Jackaroos at this event. They might start off a bit slowly, but they work their way in to absolute perfection. Got Zoom watching from Montreal. And the comment is, sure, it gets way colder in Montreal, but we don't play in those temperatures, mostly because rolling bowls through 2 feet of snow can be complicated. That'd be like a 1 second green where you'd almost be playing petanque.
I'd actually love to, I don't know if there is some footage, maybe someone has seen it before. I'd love to see a bit of ice bowling.
What an ice.
It'd be fast.
You know what that's called?
Well,
curling.
I know we've got curling, but
But that's what does my head in. Curling's in the Olympics, yet we can't get in. What is going on? What is going on? Someone working at the IOC watching that can help us.
I must admit, I do like a bit of curling. I like a bit of
because we like
broom work.
bowls. The broom work is good.
Quite often I'll do that when I'm skipping. If I've got someone bowling one wide that I'm wanting to edge home, I'll motion that I'm brooming it in.
Been a big advocate to start a curling club in Tasmania.
They've still got the ice skating rink
No.
at Glenorchy?
No. They got rid of that, and this organisation called Ice Sports Tasmania now. It's really pushing to get a new ice rink, and I've chatted to the head of Ice Sports Tasmania, Anna Holiday, and said, if you do, make sure to include a curling rink, and I will start the club myself.
All right. There we go. Connor Munnings.
Do you use a broom at home now, Connor?
No, just stick to the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, I loathe vacuuming.
Oh, get yourself a robot vac. Good quality robot vac.
For an apartment. And look, I just hate the cords and lugging it around. Either a Dyson or a robot vac, I think.
Yeah.
And this one is coming around. So Tracy and Cass are having a really great lead battle at the moment. And then comment coming from Zoom that all the Nordic countries play curling but not bowls. And I think, well, Sweden, they do have a bowls team.
Yeah, we've got some reps here, haven't we?
Yep, Ulla Buckren and Pontus Palmqvist, Swedish powerhouse pairing. Pontus playing out of Bondi, got through his singles section. Might have to play Lee Schreiner in the third round. Ulla Buckren, Swedish champion of champions winner. He's playing in the fours. And
Actually, a pretty good bowl from Tracy there.
Yep. In the comments, we also have Kathy Elms, or Les Elms, if I can read properly, watching from Ninh Binh in Vietnam.
Bit warmer there.
Yeah. Had Jim Lim from South Korea playing in the singles. What a lovely man he was. I met him the other night. He was great. Gave me his business card.
I'm going to try and head to Vietnam next year. That's my next holiday destination that I'm looking at. Had a number of friends go there and rave about how good it is.
Yeah, I've heard wonderful things. Had the pleasure of going to China last year. That was great fun.
Look at this coming in from Kylie. Is she going to bend enough to get back to the jack? Not quite. It's a mighty effort. Probably gives Maria a nice one to sit on there now, though.
Yeah. I recommend if you're going to Vietnam, head up to Dalat. Troy.
Yeah?
Yep. Up in the mountains. It's a bit of a different Vietnam. It's very nice.
A little less touristy.
Little less touristy, but there's some great things to do there. Also has one of the best golf courses. I don't know if you're a golf fan, but one of the best golf courses I've seen up there.
I do like the game. I just cannot play it to save myself. Thankfully, Maria can play bowls because she's just drawn a second there. Still, a nice head for Kylie to play to.
Much needed for the Kangaroo Island pair. They've dropped the last 6 ends.
Well, they're starting to run out of ends too, aren't they, Connor?
Yeah.
They've really need to get on the board this end.
We talked about those mini games, and after this end, it'll be 2/3 of the way through. And it's kind of been a game of two halves at the moment. Boxer and Lehmann won the first 5 ends before Lavis and Millerick clawed it back and have been on absolute fire since then.
So no damage to the head there for Maria after that one. So Kylie's last bullet, slightly over with the first, slightly under with the second. Like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, can she get it just right with this one? Cass is asking for it to bend. Oh, and I think she gets second shot with that. So now Maria needs to be really careful.
Yeah. Would it nearly be worth taking it if...
Well, I guess maybe...
Or coming on the forehand, trying to... I know there's a bit of traffic there, but it's a safer hand.
Yeah, I agree. She can't really do any damage on her backhand.
Sorry, backhand, yes. Need to remember she's a lefty.
She's taking a nice, safe, wide line there. Actually a pretty fair attempt. Well, at least they're back on the board. So 1 to the Boxer Lehmann combination. They do still trail the Millerick Lavis combination, 7-10. But the margin now only 3. With 6 to play. So they've lost, as Connor mentioned, they lost a number of ends in a row, so they'll be relieved to be back on the board. Have control of the mat, and they've elected to pretty much go tee to tee here. The mat is only about 4 feet up from the tee. Jack is right back. Important for Tracy to make sure this first one's up. Unfortunately, she's not. So can Cass make her pay here?
That was a much needed end for the South Australians. Of course, the 10-7 is, I hope Dave Rankin is watching, Perth Pennants. 10-7. That is one of the good roadway patrol shows.
Yes, Tracy's corrected, and it's still running. That's a great correction. Well played, Tracy Boxer.
And this has been the trend. She has warmed her way into this match really nicely. Been great to watch. You know, she's going up against the 2023 singles champion here at this tournament. That is a hard event to win. Right at home, Jackaroo. She's playing brilliantly.
She's been given a chance here to add another. Plenty of room. She has about a 6 feet diameter here. The line is good enough, just needs it to run.
That's running.
Would want it to come back to the line and not stick out there too much. Can it fall over? No. Nice little channel there. Cass will be reasonably disciplined and won't play too much weight to that, but it'll look nice from the mat.
We'll come around the back. So Cass has 2 bowls past, and that's where, yes, Tracy has ended the changeover, holding 2, but nothing is past the jack here for Maria. And that's where things can get a little difficult.
And when you're skipping, you don't necessarily mind if you're down on the crossover. It's about what head you've got to play to when you're going back to the mat.
And it's a good head for Kylie.
for our new bowlers that might be watching, it's nice to get the wood over your opponent and have shot if you're leading or playing two in a fours game, but often it's more about getting your bowls in the area and setting up a really good end for the back end of your team, as much as it is about having the shot.
Was it so cold today?
Should have had a look at the forecast, mate.
I
They said it was going to be colder than yesterday.
That's why I wore pants. Not that I didn't wear bottoms yesterday. It was just shorts. It didn't sound very good when I said that, didn't it?
Didn't. I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah. No pants ringside.
But look, if you two are nice to me today, I reckon I've got a few more of these rugs in the cupboard at home,
All right.
and I'll treat you tomorrow. Kylie's in the area here. Can it bend? No. See, another bowl on that hand, holding with weight.
And it's interesting because we're not on the ditch rink here. We're on ring 27, which is one in. So generally they do move. And generally they swing. So at the moment they're still holding a couple. And, you know, two here. There's still a lot of bowls to be played. But, hey, that could be on for a mini comeback.
Can Maria get around the front? She can. She gets to that back white.
She's so close. She's found the gap. But look at how well she played it playing on that backhand in this direction. Has to do that again. Has to.
Maria's forehand, though.
Yeah, she's a lefty. Sorry.
Yeah, I've made a mistake a couple of times.
Sorry. Apologies to all the lefties out there.
Now, Kylie could get a good rub here. No. That makes certain the two. Still reckon Maria tries to beat that very back white one, because I think Kylie will make sure she's giving herself a chance of drawing that jack. So Maria's either got to cover the jack on the other hand or stay on her forehand and try and match that back white to the right of it, hopefully.
Back to our conversation before about bowling on ice. Mark Blackford, my wife bowled a rookie roller bowl on Antarctica 2 years ago, not on snow, but on a rocky beach, running about 5 seconds. That's awesome. This, just going around the back. So
Well, it's actually ended in a good spot, I reckon, Val. Wasn't the hand I thought that she could get to there on, but it's ended in a good spot.
I'd love to go to Antarctica.
Oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it? I have seen that there's some silly people that actually go swimming in the waters down there. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I'd love to go. It's on the bucket list. So Kylie Lavis, she's close. She's so close.
That is a fantastic shot. Yeah, she made two.
I don't think so. I think it's just the one. It is. But the lead is back to 4. They're on the verge of only being 10-9 in front.
Well, that was a big bowl because
Huge.
The difference in margins just by her affecting that bowl with limited ends left to play, that's telling.
5 to go. 3 shots the difference. Still very close. But yeah, I've seen you can take cruises now to go to Antarctica. And you get out, you can go see the penguins, and I think it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, an arm and a leg, Val.
Yeah. Which is annoying because Antarctica is actually closer to Melbourne than what Darwin is.
Couldn't be much more expensive than it is to go to America or Europe these days.
No, it is.
It is?
Yep. It's very pricey.
I've been helping friends plan a trip to the US, and I've been to the US quite a number of times and was lucky enough to go back when we were at parity pre-COVID. Man, did I have a great trip with little or no money, but wow.
We went in 2011 when we were at, I think, about 111 US cents for our dollar. And my God, that was good. 15-year-old Val shopped a lot. Bought a pair of runners that would have been, 170 here. And got them for 63 US. Best discount I've ever had in my life.
The best thing for me for shopping in the US is that I'm 2 metres tall and So when I go shopping here in Australia, it's not about going on a shopping jaunt. It's about going to the 3 stores that actually hold clothes that fit me or shoes that fit me.
What are they?
So it's not really that exciting. Johnny Biggs is a big one.
Yeah.
Johnny Biggs. And but going to America, it's magnificent. I just walked into an
small.
ordinary department store and they had like rows of size 17 and 18 shoes. And I was just amazed.
Mate, what size foot are you?
Oh, I'm not a 17 or 18. I'm about a 15 or a 16. But
Shaquille O'Neal next to us.
yeah, I'm a shorty over there.
Big swimmer. Flippers for feet.
15 or 16.
Yeah.
So I thought I had a bit. I'm 12 and a half, 13. I thought I had a big foot, but that is. You got me covered there, Troy.
Yeah, got the surfboards, mate.
You must be a good swimmer.
Do barefoot skiing pretty easy.
Now that's impressive. But generally, yeah, it is hard to get shoes in that size. I used to work at a Foot Locker, and the size 14s were pretty rare. And then we rarely got 15s in.
Here we go. Cass with her third bowl coming in beautifully here. Very nice.
The first time in about 4 ends where she could lead at the changeover and could hold. Tracy Boxer has been brilliant.
I don't think this bowl will hold on for her. Can she get a bit more run out so it's at least in a decent position? It's running a fair way. As we can see, the green definitely picking up in pace since we started.
So is that breeze. Needs to go away. And yesterday the wind was so strong it actually took the power out of our audio mixer. And you have to actually unscrew it.
The Sith Lord is back. I've had to pull the...
Darth Corba.
Darth Bigfoot.
Well, perhaps I'm Chewie. I won't assault your ears with a Chewie impersonation, but...
Can you do one?
I don't know. I would have gone with more gusto. I didn't want to blow people's ears off, especially if you are watching at work and then all of a sudden a Chewie erupts from your laptop.
I thought I'd join you. All right.
Back to the bowls.
You're thinking it's the third game today already.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 10:38 in the morning and we've resorted to going to Chewbacca impressions on day 4 of the Australian Open. Mark it down, ladies and gentlemen. That is when Troy, Connor and I have lost it. Yeah. Actually, maybe not Connor. Definitely me and Troy.
Yeah, strap yourselves in for sessions 2 and 3.
Yeah, I started a couple of days later on the mic. I've still got a few days left in me till I descend into madness.
It's during BPL, I think it's usually the Wednesday night. that you go, that your mind wanders. Last year at BPL 20, Lindsay Clark, Aiden Davis and I were, I think we just pretty much giggled the entire night session, just laughing the whole time.
They're long days.
Yeah, but they're good fun. They are good fun.
Nice head here for Maria. Can she get a result here?
Oh, she can, I think.
She's got a touch of the jack on the way through. Tracy needs to make sure she remembers to mark that.
1 down.
Cassie obliges.
So 1 down for the Jackaroos.
We've got 2 seconds and the back bowl. Kylie doesn't need to be concerned about anything going wrong here.
It's close. Kylie Lavis.
Oh, is it too far?
No, it's gone. Yeah, she's sent that back to Tracy Boxer.
Well, in the context of the game, Val, she has to add this second shot.
Absolutely. Because this makes it a 10-9, or sorry, an 11-9 game. Sorry, our scoreboard hasn't quite updated there. This makes it 11-9 if she can get there. Maria Lehmann.
I'm concerned on how wide she's gone because we're in untested green out there.
Oh, it's coming, and she hasn't. They needed that. They absolutely needed that. Nonetheless, they do win the end. They've won 2 of the last 3, 11 shots to 8 in favour of Millerick and Lavis. We've got a grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, the TV rink proving to provide the goods. $11-8 is the score. But if you're Kylie and Cass, I think the bonus for them is that in the 5, 6, 7 ends that they've dropped, they've only dropped 1 multiple, and that was a 2. So they've been second shot in, how many ends have we played? In 13 of the 14 ends. At least second shot. That's quality.
Absolutely. Tracy's on a fair heading if she can run it out.
They've kept a very similar length to what the Jackaroos have been playing. A win is all that matters here this morning for either of these two teams. Get the campaign off to a perfect start. You win all 3, you're definitely going through, and then there's only 7 next best qualifiers. And that minuscule number has already brought a lot of teams undone, because we've seen Eugenie Muncaster, or Ush as she's affectionately known. She's gone with Louise Cronin, who won the Fours title last year. Kate Argent-Bowden and Sophie Kurzman, they're gone. They can't get through. Jodie Nikolic, run at home para emerging Jackaroo, also gone. Could this be the upset of the tournament so far? Tracy Boxer and Maria Lehmann are fighting hard.
Oh, just fighting with itself to come back. Still a good bowl in the head. Adds to the count. A lot of pressure now on Tracy. She's dropped short with both her first 2. She must reach here. She's on that wide line too. She has at least got it behind the head.
Yeah, it can be worked with, and it probably keeps, I think, the positive for the South Australians, I reckon that keeps Maria off that hand. Because if you're going to try and move that jack towards that back bolt, I think you're coming.
Well, I just think on the draw.
Forehand.
Yeah, sorry, Val. I think just what will be the forehand side for Maria as she delivers. That hand's drawing back, I think, a little nicer than the other hand. So it's a nice guide for her. If she gets around that wider bowl of hers, she knows she's on a really good track to the jack and that the bowl will come back for her. She just needs to sit that one at 6 o'clock for shot. And who knows, she might get a bit lucky